Hi again, and it's nice to have you back. I hope you're going to find this video interesting. Today we're going to talk about a subject that is not one of the ones I'm very familiar with, and basically aviation from the Great War. And of course, being a keen modeller, this has become a much more popular subject in modelling, because mainly thanks to the efforts of our friends at Wingnut Wings, who make some, frankly, the best kits probably ever made, ever manufactured in the world. There are some rumours around about this company's status at the moment, and I'm not going to comment on that. But I thought it was a good time to actually review one of their kits. I've never seen it. I've not even opened this box, so I literally have no idea what's inside. We'll open it, we'll have a look, have a little talk about this hero, a chap called Lanoe Hawker. He was an ace of the First World War, British, and he was flying this very interesting aircraft, which is one of the things that attracted me to it, the Airco DH2, which is a pusher, so it's got the motor at the back. So it's quite an advanced design, especially in the middle of the First World War. And I think it comes with a figure of him as well, hopefully. And I'll just talk about him a little bit. I've only done some very basic research, but he was quite a talented pilot and an ace, feared by many of the Germans. I think he had 16 victories. Forgive me if I got that wrong, but I think it was 16. He was a very successful pilot, and this was an aircraft that required a great deal of skill. Slightly unusual design, obviously, and the pilot sits right on the nose of the aircraft, so it's most unusual design for its time. Hawker went through the war for 2 years, very successfully, gaining more and more victories and becoming more of a reputation. And he was already known of by Baron von Richthofen, the Red Baron. And he had this reputation where Red Baron actually compared him to Bucher, I think his name was, one of their aces, and he said he was tactical genius, this guy, like Bucher. It's rather unfortunate to tell then that on I think it's the 12th of November or thereabouts, 1916, that he took off, did Lanoe, with his Captain Andrews, his colleague, and they were at an aerodrome called Bertongle, not far from Bapaume, I think this was, so it's sort of in the centre of the front, the First World War, British front, and they were on patrol and saw a flight of German aircraft, and got into a bit of a dogfight with some of them, and then I think there's a second flight appeared. Unfortunately, the second flight included Baron Manfred von Richthofen, the Red Baron, and these two literally had a duel over Bapaume. And unfortunately for Hawker, he was running low on fuel, desperately low, almost conking out, and he turned back and was trying to get back to the British line so he could refuel. And the Red Baron and him had been hammering tongues for about 8 or 10 minutes, which is quite a long time for a dogfight. It must seem like 8 hours. And apparently the story goes that the Red Baron was running out of ammo, he was running out of fuel, and the Red Baron did one last burst, and they reckon it was probably his last bullet, or one of the last few bullets, that just caught him, and it hit him in the back of the head and killed him instantly, and he just spiralled and exploded. So a great star of the British Royal Flying Corps was lost. And this is near the Fleur Road, just south of Bapaume, and apparently it's on the German side of the front line. Some German officers apparently ordered the men to bury him quite close to the road, but the Red Baron, and this is featured actually in the film The Blue Max, which is worth watching for sure. The Red Baron was so impressed by this guy and thought him such a worthy adversary, he made a special trip there in a car. Once he knew that he was seeing where he'd gone down, went back to base, got a car, and he actually was too late. They'd already buried him, but his plane was still there, what was left of it, and they presented him with the Lewis machine gun that's in the front of the aircraft, and he had it apparently above his quarters back at his air base, which is near Peronne, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit further south. So fortunately, the Red Baron was maybe just a fraction better, but this guy was incredibly talented and one of the great stars of the First World War. Anyway, we're going to get into the kit now, so let's have a look at the Wingnut Wings kit. I'm going to zoom you in. so you can have a proper look. Here we go. How's that? Pretty nicely, isn't it? Right, let's see what we got. Now, Wingnut wings are known for the most beautiful moulding, so I'm expecting great things from this. So here we've got a sprue. I'm not going to take them out of the bag, but we've got a sprue here with the wheels and the tyres with all the writing. Again, they get this done so nicely. Let's try to read it because I've got my right glass on. I think it says Dunlop tyres on it. But those are beautiful. Unlike my recent Airfix review on the Messerschmitt 109, there is no flash here whatsoever. Beautiful, very nice. Let's look at the second one. Oh, it's the same, replication. Oh, there's some clear parts. Okay, bit of a screen at the front. I see. It's like a gun screen in front of the gun so that he doesn't get any backfire from the gun or any shell cases ejected. Again, beautiful moulding. Look at that. Yeah, I hope Wingnut's going to survive, I really do, because, well, I'm probably whistling in the wind, but they're amazing. There's no other word for it. So finely moulded. This is just a miniature aircraft, really. It doesn't really feel like a plastic kit. Look at that engine. Oh, so many fine pieces. Got here. Wings. And again, they get the texture of the, and it's all canvas, of course. Basically a wooden frame with canvas over it. That's nice. That is really good. Let's bring you in a bit closer and have a look at this. It's got all the support stays that go between the top and bottom wing, because this is it's a biplane. Beautiful propeller. Again, got all the bolts, central boss. Very nicely done. There's obviously optional propellers. We've got a 4-blade here. 4-blade. That's nice. Got a real angle to it, you know. Rake into the wind. Very impressive. And we've got stressed skin on the side of the canvas. Don't know if we can see that. Let's just give you a little bit more zoom. Yeah. There's a lot of parts I don't really recognise what they are. You can tell I'm not very familiar with World War I aircraft. But anyway, we've got Lewis guns. Really nice. Can we get those in? Here. Lewis gun. Yeah. Very nice. It's just exquisite. There's no flash. There's no ejector pins where there shouldn't be. The only place I can see ejector pins are in areas that are clearly going to be covered. That's very good. Well, it's an understatement. And then we have Lanoe Hawker himself. We've got a figure here. That's a resin figure. Oh yeah, you've got his so you've even got his coat draped over his arm. That's very well done. Just trying to figure out which way up that is. Yeah, I get it. That's nice. So good. Let's have a look at the instructions. The destructions. Bring you back out a bit for this one. Yeah. It's nice that they have the figure with him as well. That's quite important. Now, Wingnut Wings' instructions are, quite frankly, a revelation because they have so much extra detail. They have colour, they have photographs of the real aircraft, all in a single publication instead of having it in little leaflets that are separate. I mean, Tamiya did this very, very well, don't get me wrong, but theirs is always spread across different leaflets, but this is all a complete unit. Everything is here. So it shows the sprues, what you're going to use, what you're not going to use. Clearly there are multiple versions of this because several parts are not used. In fact, I'll bet you one of those is the propeller. The two-blader, where is it? Yes, the two-bladed propeller is not used. I first looked at, see? Okay. Look at this. So it's like this three-dimensional, semi-colour, semi-photograph graphic that they have. They are so clear. Beautiful. It just gives you that three-dimensional understanding of what it should look like when you've completed that stage. And you don't get that with the flat pencil diagram that you get commonly. Here we go. How to build your motor. Complete with photographs, colour photographs showing the magneto and the positioning of the angle of the propeller. Gosh, it's amazing. To put your struts in. Ugh. Emergency petrol tank right on the top of the wing. Well, that's a good place for it, isn't it? Ouch. When you've got the Red Baron behind you, I don't think so. I mean, it's breathtaking. I'm almost lost for words, really. It's so good. Why can't they all be like this? Tell me how. I thought you were the kings. You have more work to do. Look at this. Look at that. It's such a nice, interesting aircraft as well, being this pusher format where it's got the engine at the back. And very aerodynamically efficient as a result. You know, there's no drag at the front. It probably helps it with climbing rate, things like that. Shows the Lewis machine gun. There it is, the one I was just talking about. That the Red Baron ended up having on his above his quarters. Rigging. Ooh, this looks fun, doesn't it? Look at that. Rigging guide. Ouch. More rigging. Rigging material not included. Oh boy. It's got two different sizes of rigging, two different thicknesses. So, you know, you end up really with something that is really a remarkable total scale model, not just a kit, but a replica really. And then look at the detail for the pilot. That's astonishing. So lifelike, isn't it? I mean, that's been beautifully painted. He looks real. He really does. If anything, he seems to have gained a bit of weight because in the photographs he looks a bit slimmer. Oh, I exaggerated. He had 7 victories. Okay, still a lot for the First World War though. 7 victories the day he was shot down. And then, and here we have the Red Baron, and this is interesting. It's got von Richthofen's souvenirs included, the Lewis machine gun. And there it is in this photo here. See on the wall, mounted as the Lewis machine gun amongst a few other parts of his aircraft, so his markings. Gosh, it shows the full layout here of the all the correct positions for the markings and the stencils. Superb. I mean, this is like a collector's item. It's not simply instructions. You know, you finish a model kit and you chuck the instructions in the bin in most cases. I don't chuck it some way of the Tamiya ones that have colour and, you know, have a bit of extra, but generally they go in the bin. Well, this still must be framed. It's like a collector's edition print. There's Hawker himself. I've got to say that's as good as you might imagine, really. A work of art. And then we've got the decals here. I shan't take them out, but I can tell they're quite thin and they're nice decals. They're not going to cause us any problems, I'm sure. And of course, typical Wingnut wings, we get a little bit of photo etch on the back as well. So there we have it. A masterpiece, I suspect that is. I'm sure that will go together if you follow the instructions very carefully, because I know that with these you have to be very careful, but I'm sure that will be absolutely no problem at all. You can see here we've got the images on the side for Currently's aircraft. 1/32 scale. So, what is there to say really? You know, you open these and it's like there's nothing to say because it's perfect. And you know it's going to build into a work of art. You've just got to be patient and really get the most out of it, because there's so much effort gone into the manufacture and the design, even the instructions, that you've got to really enjoy it. You've just got to set aside a couple of months and just plod along, and it'll just go together, and it'll be like a walk through history. And I think that's what has made Wingnut wings absolutely unique. Nobody does it like them. And I have to confess, I've got two Wingnut wings. I've got one I bought myself, one that was a gift, and the gift one is the Hermann Göring Fokker D7, I think it is. And that in itself, we should do a review on that actually, because that's another masterpiece. But there's just nothing quite like it. You know, it's not really a model kit. It's almost like a miniature experience in engineering. You feel when you go through with the photograph, you almost feel like you're in the Royal Flying Corps or the Luftwaffe building these aircraft in miniature. And I just hope that they're not going to disappear, Wingnut wings, because if, you know, whatever happens to the company, I wish them well, all of the employees. I hope they're going to be okay. But we can't lose that sort of that quality. That is an absolute high watermark of quality in plastic kits. Who would have thought, you know, 10 years ago, you say, well, there's a company come in, they're going to be a little company in New Zealand, they're going to be better than Tamiya or Edouard or, you know, Zokimura. You think, I don't think so, it's very unlikely. But they did, you know. And it was a total attention to detail, almost beyond reason. And that's what they represent. So I wish, you know, that they were working on a new Lancaster bomber from the Second World War. That would, I mean, I've seen the mock-ups and the pre-production prototypes. Absolutely mind-blowing. Just a scaled-down Lancaster in miniature, like nothing else. So I do hope that that comes to fruition in some form, even if somebody else buys the molds or whatever happens. Who knows? But I think we should pay tribute to an outstanding company that revolutionised model kits, and this is an example, an interesting one, of one of their fantastic products. Anyway, I hope you found it interesting. I'm going to be doing another one of these in the near future. I think we have a Sopwith triplane coming along, so watch out for that. We'll do another Wingnut one, because Wingnut, yeah, suddenly I'm very interested, yeah. But watch out for that, and we will hopefully see more success for this kind of an approach to modelling and engineering companies that really focus more on the quality and not just on the cost. Maybe that's been the problem though, maybe that's been the undoing of the company, I don't know, but I won't speculate on that. I just wish them well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Look forward to seeing you come along and seeing the next one, and take care of yourselves. Everybody stay safe, keep washing your hands, keep your distance, etc, etc. See you soon. Take care for today. Bye for now.